Hello, friends. I am so excited for this. I can't even describe. I am going to do one thing, though. Very beginning here, I currently have the Myst Masterpiece Edition, which is really close to the original version. But I think I'll be mostly playing through with the realMyst version, just because it's a little easier to use. And there's a bonus that I want to go mess with and show. Uh, for the beginning of this LP, though, I'm going to just do a little side-by-side comparison so you kind of see the differences. And you guys can see the original intro, and I really like the intro. So I'm going to shut up, hit new game, and we can sit back and enjoy.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed. And so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
And yes, the ending has not yet been written. This is how we start. The Myst book falls for an unknown time and lands at our feet. What we are doing in our background, who knows yet, but I thought I'd clarify one thing. That weird thing in the sky, the narrator was talking about, it's called a star fissure. Just think of it as a rift in space, we'll just say. That's the best way to go with it for now. When he was falling, a really strange sound effect happened, and that's because he linked with the book. Linking with the book is, well, how you kind of get around the Myst games. These special books, Myst being one of them, are called linking books. When they're opened, and this takes a moment because it's not perfect, it may be used to transport you, to link you to a new world. This one being called Myst. Myst Island, and it's where the main game takes place. We get a neat little flyby, and when it's done loading, you can click on the image, hear that lovely teleport sound that isn't creepy sounding at all, and hey, we are here. This is Myst, an early 90s game. At the time, this looked quite lovely. Now, though, it's different. It's okay, though. So this is why I'm not playing this one, because it's a little bit clunky, so you don't actually move around. It is completely point and click. Now, I know how to do some of these puzzles. Just going down a hallway here, and there's a little pool of water or something. So we turn the pool of water off, and I guess we turned it on. So you really don't have any direction. There's not much. Kind of fiddle around, explore your environment, try to figure things out. However, I do know a few things. I still remember a little bit of this. As you walk and explore, you may find this page. It reads, Catherine, I have left for you a message of utmost importance in our forechamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve your message. Yours. I think it's Atris? So if you don't know what a marker switch is, and you're like, what the heck? I don't know what to do. I am confused as heck right now. I also don't know how to get down. There we go. This is like a lot of trial and error figuring this out. If we were to go back in here, you do know that he's talking about this thing here, and if you explore, you may notice a few things. Nothing here. this. Click on it. Settings on the dimensional imager. Topographical extrusion test. Water turbulent pool and marker switch diagram. Okay, well. Okay. And you know, you can't really click or anything on this. Notice there's like a little button or something here, so let's try. Hey, we got that. But I don't know what to do. So let's go back. Whoops. Not want to do that. See how it's a little bit kind of clunky? It's old, it's fine. So, 2-digit number, 47. Let's see. So maybe this will help us figure out what that is. 47. And I guess this might also be a button? It is in fact a button. We come back to our little device here. Hit the button in the middle. We get a neat image. That is a marker switch. I kind of messed with the switch and one on the dock. So now you know. Now it says the code. That note, it said the code for this was the number of those things on the island. I happen to know that number off the top of my head. And that number is 8. So that was a successful noise. Well, let's see what happens when we do that instead. We get a message.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Akinar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you viewed it, just to be safe.
So, that is Atris. Who's the narrator? Little hologram-like image appeared, and he tells us a little bit of backstory, and gave us basically the only hint we're going to get directly. So, something happened to his library. If you keep in mind what the Myst book is, where we are, that may be a big deal if something happened to other books like Myst. He thinks it's his sons. He mentioned 2, Akinar and Cirrus. So, if we don't know what to do, he said remember the tower rotation, whatever that means. And we erase this message, I don't know how you can do. So, if it seemed a little weird how I got this to this point in the first place, a lot of these games aren't really necessarily trial and error. But really, you need to think about what resources you have, what you can, can't do, what you know. So, as you're exploring this island and, not sure what the heck is happening, you really can't interact or do much with anything. That's a cool noise. Hear that? Ah. So as you fumble about, you really just need to think about what knowledge you have. You find anything. So I found this note. It told me that there's a 4-chamber with a message. And that's it. I need to keep that. And when it's by the docks. And you keep that in mind. Now if you were to go through and mess with any of this stuff, that's really all you can really go off. You need to keep this all in mind, Keep it like an inventory. Okay, I have this piece of information. And go with it from there. And as you figure stuff out, either remove or add, add stuff to the list as you go. See, that's kind of neat. What is this? It's like a little fountain or something with a sunken ship in it. What? yeah, that's really it. Um, and the other thing too, this was also the era where people took lots of notes, a lot of notes. Now we are in the library, I think, and as you can see, these aren't looking too good. Oh, man. However, some of these look fine. Like, what's this one here? I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. So, any of these books that have information, you notice we don't have much to go with. So any information we do get is very valuable, and you should try to remember it. Now, I don't exactly remember, so like I don't really remember much more than what I've shown already. I'm going to swap over to the other game, though, just because I don't think this would be the best experience. Like, right now, I don't know how to get back. I'm just kind of guessing to click on the sides to try to move. Figure out what to do. I can't quite get the hang of it. It's been too many years. Also, the other game will look a little bit nicer, and it's more of a 3D space versus all images we're kind of just going from. So I do hope you find this at least interesting. But let's hop to the actual game we're going to play through right now. And here we go with the realMyst version. Sort of like a remastered version, redone version. It's basically the same. There's a bonus area they added, which is cool. We'll get to that much later. But a lot of things are redone, as you will soon see as the intro plays. Things were certainly made crisper and easier to see, but there's kind of a, I don't know, weird cheesiness to that. The audio's a bit cleaner, that's nice.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure,
Like,
the book would not be destroyed.
That's way clearer, almost too clear. I kind of liked how it seamlessly was in the Expanse.
Into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse.
Also, the linking sound is either too quiet or absent.
But I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold
And you very clearly see that it's the Myst book. It's less worn looking, and I don't know.
My apprehensions might never
Bugs
be
me
made.
just a little.
And so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
No crazy little magic cracks or sparks in the ground. So, I don't know what the player character was doing. Maybe they were out for just a cool night hike, or they were camping, or stargazing, or something. But we are outside at night. Seems to be somewhere in the wilderness, because there's just the howl of the wind and nothing else. But yeah, the book falls at our feet. We can pick it up. You see this crazy little screen here of Myst Island flyby coming in. Now, in the other games, I think the flybys are a little bit more full screen than this. But I think in this early one, it's just going to be in the book. And as you can see, it looks a lot cleaner now. Will also be in 3D. I may have to mess with my settings. But this should work. Here we go. The cursor, well, kind of moves. I'm gonna go with the free roam. A little easier to control. It's telling you how the menus work. And yeah, look at this. Oh, should. Well, it's not quite doing what's supposed to. Kind of doing what's supposed to. It's a little weird. Supposed to like look with the mouse, but it's not quite wanting to do it. As you can see, the water looks nice. That boat. This is where we were before in the other part of the video. Go underground. Okay, now it's working. Things are pretty much the same. Oop. It'll take a little getting used to. It's a bit weird. This should all still work. Now, something that I noticed between the versions, when it got to 9, I couldn't click higher than that, but you can click around. It was just a weird little thing I noticed. Yeah. Beep is different. I'm not going to sit here for the whole thing, because you've seen it. Just get on the way. But yeah, they made it look more hologrammy.
I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened.
It's actually like a different take.
I can't believe.
He has slightly different inflections on his voice when he talks, but it's the same script, same story.
Suspects Agon, but I shouldn't make conclusions. I'll find him. Sirius as well.
So, yeah. He suspects his sons, Akinar and Sirius, of destroying his library. Which are... It's probably a safe bet. Can't get on that yet. Hopefully this comes in really nice and crisp. That little magnetic noise sound effect isn't here, unfortunately. There's a little bit of a difference on it, some small things. Yeah, same old, there's that note. And we're really just left with exploring the island, which we did before. It's kind of garden area with these really weird... I don't know, these are buttons, I think. Yeah. If you didn't notice, this is something you can notice right away, is that what's weird about this fountain and the sunken boat in it is it kind of mirrors the boat we've seen already. Yeah, this is a... This goes to, I think, a generator. This is not creepy sounding at all. Yeah, that's cool. Turn around, you can actually see power to ship, and generator switches 1 through 10. I don't know any other information yet, but if you mess with the buttons, 10 to 10. So, yeah, that's that. Continue exploring the island. Got a nice little cabin and like a little big tree here and a little thing. Totally nothing about this at all. Now, sometimes the mouse look goes away and sometimes it doesn't. Boy, that's such a stock sound. We got some kind of pressure gauge, some kind of furnace thing here. Yeah. Safe. Looks like a safe. You can see there's definitely things we can fiddle with and have to figure out. A little clock tower we can't access yet through the water. But it's not all. Tucked away past the library is this like spaceship thing. And over here is kind of like an observatory room. The thing that looks like it has a dentist chair in it. And this room feels a bit smaller than in the other game. I think if you sit down... Oops. I accidentally clicked out of it. I didn't want to do that. Click on this. You get a date and a time even. And it's hard to see, but the screen has... as a constellation on it, has a star on it. But we don't know what to do with this just yet. Oh. Now let's look at it. Now let's take a look at this. Yep, it's easier to see. Here's something was weird about that. That stock sound effect for the door. Alright. Well, we are in the library now. And it's much clearer to see what books are broken or not. You can actually read the side of them and see that there's the Stone Ship Age, Channelwood Age, the Selenitic Age, and another book down there. Oh, there's actually 5 books. Let's see. And then there's this. So yeah, it's another linking book, but something's wrong with it. Next to it, if you notice this, all the inside of the book's all red, and next to it, there is this lovely red page. There's no subtitles. If you're having a hard time hearing them. It said, "Who are you? Bring me the red pages." I can't see you. And then he rambles on and on about bringing red pages. But he's having a good time. Look. Tower rotation. That was the hint we got in our message. Catherine was supposed to remember something about the tower rotation. We'll go outside to show that in a second, but let's check out this other book here, which is, hey, a blue book. It also is in a similar state.
Serious?
So he asked if it were Cirrus. So, yeah, who are you? I can see you. Oh. Help me. Bring me. Blue pages. He's a bit unhinged. He's having a rough time. As you can see, just like the other. He asked if I was Cirrus, so I'll go out on a limb here and say that was Akinar. And over there in the red book is Cirrus. And I honestly should probably get a little notebook to play this with too. So, other things of interest, we have the tower rotation diagram here. And then we have just a couple pictures, picture there. Picture here. That's it. So there's something we can do. Figure that out yet, but the tower is back up there. It's pointing off that way at nothing. So there is something interesting about that. I think you can even get in the little fireplace here, and look, there's a button hiding. And there's this really interesting piece of metal, but I don't think we know what to do with it just yet. So let's get out. Can we click on this? Oh yeah, that buzz. This. Whoa. Oh, something happened. We can't leave out that way yet. And hey, look. That looks like the picture now. The books were kind of tucked away. Walk back here. We are heading towards that tower. I don't know if we're ready for this yet. Let's see. I walk a little further, I guess. Than that. So here's a fun thing. Hey, the elevator's not working. I wonder why. Maybe it's because I'm a big dummy and didn't close the door. Remember, safety first, kids. We are at the tower. It's a plaque with an open book. A plaque with a key. What else? What else? Is there anything else here? I don't see anything else. Go up this nice ladder? Okay, it automatically goes up when you click on it. Alright, it's hard to really see in here. Got this neat industrial vibe going. So, there's really nothing to really view right now. Whoops, I clicked out of the window. But, hop on down here. Go to the other side, maybe? Ah. And well, the thing with the book, you can see there's kind of like a slit in the wall. This makes me think of an observatory. We're in the tower right now. So we know that this rotates. The tower rotation is what we gotta think of. I don't remember how to rotate the tower, though. Let's see. These do anything? These are just lights. Yeah, and that's just a bolt in the wall. So, yeah, I am stumped. We don't currently have this information, but we do know that this place exists, so we should remember that. Let's see if we can figure something else out. No, like, lever or anything here. You have a number of books. They seem to be about different locations on the island. Check that out. So I think this should do it. Does indeed. Look at that. I got Channelwood, Stone Ship, Lunatic, and some more. What's this? Ah, this is about rhyme. This is the bonus place. We don't need to really worry about that just yet. So, let's see here. Gonna do a bit of reading. I know, shocking. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and gray, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friends or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout posts remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop the enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked my mind to provide the needed defenses for these people. I met the remaining survivors today and have begun work on the plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to the age with 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be of great help in this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which provide perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time in the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence and their creativity, and it is refreshing to see, as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky, and tell me many times they wish the sky were here like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I fear we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to the rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on the visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. There's thing about power and track slope. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress provides sufficient protection for all of us. You can see there's some kind of track, and this bridge rotates around the fortress. There's a lot of gear work. We're getting some information about this age before we even go there. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. The weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I cannot help but smile as I watch the boats leave. Yeah, insignia of the black ship. That's interesting. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storm would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first, I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the Tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that I have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day, and find the population growing and my fortress still strong, though the sky may always be black. I am confident that the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. So yeah, that was the story of the mechanical age. There was a civilization out on the ocean, a big city, and it got wiped out by some enemy force that were dicks. Oh! What? You hear that? Interesting. So hold on, if I turn this forward, walk out a tiny bit. Sounds like that tower rotated. I can't visibly see anything though. This is going to take some trial and error, but we've learned a bit about an age. We've learned that there's a fortress there, and we've learned that it has a rotating bridge, different sections of it. We learned about its history, you know. Civilization that was wiped out by an enemy. Atreus took his sons there, had a little adventure of his own, and helped them. Can't really see any difference on this tower, but it made a lot of noise. We learned a little bit more about what Atreus does here. If you notice, he started working on another book, talking about going to another universe. These books are, like the Myst book, links to their own little places. Like Myst Island here is its own little place that you can only access to through the book. Whether we're linking to, you know, places that already exist or creating them, we don't know yet. Because he writes them, makes, you know, figures them out, sets them up, and then can go there. But there seem to be some kind of weird rules, because not everything seems to work, and there is kind of this idea of a balance that you'll learn along the way. Let's see here. How about, you know, these gears over here? Can't really do anything with them, but the only other place that we've seen gear work like this so far has been in talks about the mechanical age. He was saying the most important thing right now, remember that whole tower rotation nonsense? So let's just play with this and see. We got a map of the island here. Let me actually get the tower open. We know it's somewhat over here. So what if we move this around and point it kind of there, where it's supposed to be? Let's see if we did a good job. And yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be a little work. It's fine, though. We may have messed up. We'll see. Is there any difference here in the tower? Let's go up here, and there's the book black. Oh, it's not open. Like I am missing something. kind of hard to see. The lighting is a bit low. I almost feel like I should bring my contrast up. I can't see anything there. Oh, apparently you can just walk right off the ladder if you wanted. Can't walk up the ladder though. You can see like there's a little difference here in the wall and the seams and stuff, and unfortunately I believe we are still missing something. We haven't figured something out. Is there anything with the plaque? No. No buttons around here. This is one of those things like when you find it, it's like an, oh yeah, I can't believe I didn't see that. And unfortunately, I don't believe that there is a way. Oh, we do have a flashlight though. Now we've turned the flashlight on, we can actually see a little better. This flashlight is a new addition, and that is not something that's normally there. So let's just take a look at this. Is there anything on here that we have missed? And I am not making puns when I say that word. So no, it does not appear so. Let's kind of hop down here. Whoop. Nothing around here. I like the little caution lines on this ladder, so I don't really see if we've missed anything yet. I don't believe this goes any higher. I think it just goes back down. Yeah, it in fact just goes back down. Let's just take a look. Nothing hiding back here. There is something we haven't figured out yet. I have a feeling it might be with this map. Oh, I have an idea. You know what? Oh. You know what? There was something over here that we didn't mess with. Maybe this is the culprit. I don't know if it is or not. Perhaps it is. Let's see if there's any difference. Bit of trial and error. I forgot. I didn't keep in my head that these are a thing. If that is the case, what if we lift these up? Might be a good idea to activate these things now. My problem is there's more of these than I know of. Like there's 8 total, but there's only 4 places. Ah, look at that. The map has changed. Okay, so let's go out and do that. It's something we need to pay attention to. We missed. Let's go activate all these switches. The map nice and working. Ooh, we can't get to that one yet, though. That's interesting. But 1, 2, let's count these as we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, and that one's down. You can actually hop down. 7. So that's 7. We can't get to the 8th one though. It's across the water. I'll have to figure that later. Let's see how the map looks now. Oh, it's mostly filled in. Look at that. And now it's stopping at locations. Maybe we figured out what we need to do. Okay, there's also no power present, though. I don't recall there needing to be power. Yeah, it's still not activated up there, I don't think. But hey, we figured out one thing. Maybe it'll be a bit different up here now that we've actually done something there, though. those switches. But I am running out of time. We're very close to getting somewhere, though. We've found some puzzle pieces that we've put together. Oop. There you go. The only other thing I can think of is maybe we should do something with the power station, but oh look, we can see already that did something important. So yeah, it's open. That's a bit wrong though. As you can see, the display might be a little screwy. That's fine. What's supposed to happen? Let me do it. Is if you look out, you could see where it's looking, and see that it's at the see that it's at the gears. So we have a key symbol, and straight up a plaque with information. Let's see if I can do something. Now, you probably can hear desk noises as I move all the garbage around my desk. Oh, it's my game developer notebook. Not use that. I am a prepared individual who is ready to let's play a complicated puzzle game. Oh, and here we go. This book is for video game stuff. Okay. Very good. A nice pencil. And let's go. So, Myst LP. Mechanical age. And what, 240. $221. I don't quite know what to do with this information yet, but we have information. We have some kind of key here. Now, if you were to look... Oh, sorry. Get down this ladder. Why that display up there is not working, I don't know. You should be able to look out of it. Let me try and mess with something here. Let's... Oops. Set this. There's a lot of interesting settings here. Say as low as possible. And return. And we'll see if it works. Maybe there's some weird graphic setting that does not work with this game. The answer is no. It is still a broken mess for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. You can see, like, that's not normal. You should be able to just look out. So, alright, let me just put that back where it was. Let's go. Anything we can do with this information. What do we got here? We got 240, 221.